Russia must pay reparations to Ukraine. This is written in the resolution of the UN General Assembly. The document was supported by representatives of 94 countries. 73 states abstained from voting and 14 delegations voted against. Among them are Belarus, China, Russia, Syria, the Central African Republic, Cuba, North Korea, Iran, Mali, Zimbabwe, Eritrea and Nicaragua.
На майданчику ООН наші дипломати
At the UN platform, our diplomats worked for a long time with partners to agree on and adopt two very important resolutions. The first of them has been supported to create an international compensation mechanism that will make it possible to compensate for all losses caused by the Russian war, and at the expense of Russian assets. The reparations that Russia will have to pay for what they have done are now part of the international legal reality.
The UN resolution is of great political importance. This, in fact, is the foundation for creating a register of war damage and for working out mechanism for paying reparations to Ukraine.
What does the UN resolution mean for us? The countries in which the arrested assets of Russia are located now have a legally justified decision and will be able to move from discussions to actions to start the work of the international compensation mechanism. Ukraine will offer them to conclude an international treaty to hold Russia accountable and compensate for the losses caused by Russia's aggression. Irina Mudra, Deputy Minister of Justice of Ukraine, on Facebook.
The West has already frozen Russian assets in the amount of 300 to 500 billion US dollars. This figure was announced in September by the Prime Minister of Ukraine, Denis Shmyhal. According to experts, representatives of the international community will soon begin to develop a single mechanism and legally binding documents to hold the Russian Federation accountable and compensate for damages.
На основании данной резолюции будет заключено
An international agreement will be concluded on the basis of this resolution. It will provide for at least registration of damage caused to the state, Ukraine, as well as individuals, legal entities. It will be an international mechanism adopted in cooperation with Ukraine. I think that this will be a multilateral document, a multilateral treaty that states will join. Accordingly, it will be obligatory for the states that join it.
The Kremlin predictably disagrees with the UN resolution. Moscow said that Russia would do everything possible to prevent the seizure of its frozen assets.
Naturally, the organizers of this process are trying to complete the robbery of our reserves, which were blocked in a completely illegal way. This is the formalization of this robbery using the United Nations. This decision is not legally binding, and that is how we will treat it. Dmitry Peskov, press secretary of the President of Russia.
To date, according to preliminary estimates, the Russian Federation has caused damage to Ukraine by more than 300 billion US dollars. The Russian Federation has 140 million citizens, and by simple arithmetic, it turns out that every Russian, including infants, already owes Ukraine more than 2,000 US dollars. And with every day of the Russian war against Ukraine, this amount will increase. Reported by Roman Smoler, Vlada Tsurkan, UATV News.